Prior to all of this happening, I did post my husband a lot because he was my husband. And thankfully, a lot of you guys were, oh, like the signs were there that he started hating you. You got me there. I didn't see the sign.
Imagine living in the same house with a man that you are getting a divorce from, and you're out there being on dating app, and this man knows you're on dating app dating other men, but you still live together. Let's talk about it. Hey beautiful people, how you all doing today? It's your girl Destiny here, and welcome to my channel. How have you all been? Hope you guys are doing great. So today's video is a story time of a lady who came on to share a story about how soon-to-be ex-husband put his hands and almost unalive her and physically abuse her. And she went on to tell the story about how she and her husband, they are getting a divorce and they are separated, but even at that, they still both live in the same house, and how she's on dating app. He found out she's on dating app, and then this man got aggressive and tried to play mind games and manipulate her, and at the end of the day he put his hands on her, which led her to get a restraining order on him, even though she's about to move out of the house that weekend. And this man got ate her food, do all sorts of things that even the neighbor decided to call the police, which she has showed physical abuse, physical bruises on her body that this man has inflicted on her. But anyway, guys, let's go hear this sister story, because for me, I find it really interesting that you're separated or getting a divorce, and yet you still live together. Okay, not to actually directly blaming her, but you guys let me know that dynamic. How does that dynamic work? But anyway, guys, let's go hear her story and then we'll come back and talk more.
Before I start this video, I just want to say has to do with, this is a trigger warning before I start. This has to do with my ex-husband over this weekend. This past weekend, my ex-husband spent it in jail because he not only hit me, dragged me, and cat, but he me so much that my knee, right here, my knee and parts of my entire left side of my body is pretty much covered with bruises because I had to shield my whole entire body as he me throughout our condo, and it got so bad that we ended up in a hallway while I was trying to run away from him, and our neighbor had to call the cops. I couldn't call the cops because he stole my phone and ran away from it. Now that we have that out of the way and what happened and how it looked on me and what led to him being arrested, let's start from the beginning. If you ask him, it will tell you it started from when he took my food out of the fridge. But no, it actually started on Friday, maybe Thursday. He had a friend call him and tell him that he saw me on dating apps. I have been on dating apps because we are separated. We are getting a divorce. We have been getting a divorce since January. Up until today, because today will be our final day of living in this apartment. Well, my final day of living in this apartment. So his friend called him and told him he saw me on dating apps. I said, he comes in a room and confronts me about it in a very calm way. He goes, oh, how was Hinge on how was a platform or something like that. I told him, I don't know what you're talking about because it's not his business for me to be telling him if I am on dating apps or not. He goes, how is a platform? Someone just called me and said they saw you on the platform. I said, I don't know. Thank you for asking though. I know you're dating, I'm dating. I think we're good. We don't have to talk about it. If you guys remember, I did make a video a couple of days ago for my father's 1-year anniversary that me and my ex-husband went out to dinner, not for a date, for a negotiation dinner. And we talked about how we're both, seeing other people. And he brings up the fact that he hates that I make TikToks about our divorce process because he has a lot of girls that he's dating, and one of them actually brought up my videos. And I told him, and I said in that video as well, I think it's weird that you're dating people who are bringing up my TikToks. As you guys know, prior to all of this happening, I did post my husband a lot because he was my husband. And thankfully, a lot of you guys were, oh, like the signs were there that he started hating you. You got me there. I didn't see the signs. But I thought it was weird that he was that the girls were bringing up my videos on dates with him. One of the girls actually always comments on my videos when it has to do with him. It's very weird. I see it. I delete it, but it's also very weird to do. Now let's move to Saturday. On Saturday, I went on a date, and I did not tell him because, again, not his business. I went on a date, and I came home late. The date dropped me off to our condo, and I guess he was walking into the building, and he saw me in the car. I don't know, because I don't remember seeing or making eye contact with him. However, again, you can check security cameras in our building that he went into our building and I left the car and also went into our building. I think we're like 10 minutes apart because the moment I came into our apartment, he was taking off his shoes. It was very late in the night and like early mornings when this happened, but I just knew that it was going to be a very, very long weekend. But I was thinking to myself, it's okay. This is the last weekend of living together. My boxes are packed. I'm going to be good. Nothing could happen. It's a couple of days. Nothing big could happen in a couple of days. That was what I was telling myself. But I should have known something was bound to happen because whenever he gets a certain look in his eye, I can't really explain it, but there's a certain look he gets in his eye and he has to tell, I just know it's going to be a long day. So the first thing I did that morning was take an Adderall. I have ADHD and I have extreme anxiety. So I take my meds and I already knew I was going to be locked in. And if you're someone who also takes Addies, you know when you take it, you forget to eat. You know you lock in. You lock in and you forget to eat and you do not do anything but the task you're doing, right? So that's what was happening. I was locked in packing that entire day. And one thing about my ex-husband, Mallet knows this about me. And Mallet knows when I get in that state of mind, I just lock in. I don't talk. I don't say anything. I don't move. I just focus on my task and lock in. And because I have an ulcer and this is a problem for me because I forget to eat, I know I have to set timers on my phone. I have to set timers on my phone to remind me to eat. And when my timer went off, I ordered food and I left it in the fridge. After I finished eating, I left it in the fridge. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to come back to this. Let me finish my task. One of the things Mallet loves to do is play mind games with me. For the past couple of months, anytime we get into a big argument, it was because he ate food that he knows I can only eat in my fridge. And when I confront him about it, he will tell me, and I quote, "This is my house and this is my fridge. If I want to eat whatever is in that fridge, it's mine." And he's right. He does pay the bills and he should feel free to eat whatever he wants. However, you work in private equity. You have a stipend. You have a dinner stipend. I am no longer your wife. I am not legally obligated to cook for you. I am not legally obligated to clean. I am not legally obligated to do anything. And I came to this conclusion the moment this man said, I don't know what you're even doing here because you don't do anything. I don't do anything? Fine. So I stopped cooking and I stopped cleaning and I stopped doing anything because we were now separated. Because now I don't feel obligated to do that because you already said that I don't do anything. So I stopped doing all of that. So what does he do? But I know you're not starving because, again, you work in private equity. You have a dinner stipend. You eat every single night without me cooking. However, you know I'm very specific about what I like to eat, especially after, I'm in the zone, right? You go out of way to not only eat all my food, but you make it known that you're eating it, trying to get a reaction out of me every single time. And you normally don't get a reaction out of me. The only time this man gets a reaction out of me, and he knows it, is when I'm locked in, I'm zoned in, I'm doing a lot of work, and I finally have a moment where I can remember that I'm hungry and I go in the fridge to go eat and the stuff that I've been wanting to eat is no longer there. And I do end up lashing out like, why would you do this? Sometimes I'll even text him. I remember one time he drank all of my Prosecco and I begged him, I'm like, hey, did you take my Prosecco? The man said, I drank a Prosecco. I remember thinking, you're so petty, but whatever, fine, whatever, do it. I'll go buy a new one. And that's usually how I deal with things. And whenever he does something, thank God I have my own money. Thank God I have my own job. And I go and buy what I need. And you might ask yourself, okay, so why not just leave this condo? And that's a fair question. Well, I am starting grad school, so I have to save up for grad school. I'm paying for divorce fees. I'm not legally obligated to leave this house, even though he has tried many, many times to illegally get me out of our home. When that didn't work, and thank goodness, because I have an amazing, amazing divorce lawyer, Mallet started using mind games and mental warfare every single day for the past 3 months. Every single day. Like when we first started our divorce process, we literally both agreed we can either stay till my classes start and quickly realize I was not going to stay in this house until my classes start with the way we were arguing, or we can stay until the lease ends and we both leave this apartment. That is something we both agreed on. Till this day, Mallet denies ever saying that, but thankfully I knew who I was dealing with and I stole a page from his book, which is Recording Conversations, and I brought that up with our attorney. Let's get back to the story. Now we're on Saturday, and this is the day the whole entire big event happened. I'm going to give background context to this because it's very important. You know, on Instagram, if you block someone, however, if you guys are in a group chat, any kind of group chat, you will see their messages. You won't see a video or a picture they post, but you will see their word messages. The past couple of months, Mallet has been DMing a bunch of girls. A bunch of girls have been sending me screenshots telling him, hey, your husband is in my DMs. And I always tell them, we're separated. That's not my business. However, he started DMing girls that he knows I personally, genuinely like. He knows this. Thankfully, these girls are girls, and they have wrote me and DM me like, hey, just to let you know, Mallet's in my DMs. And every single time I go, I'm sorry that you're dealing with this. I know what he's doing, and they know what he's doing. So they're not falling for it. I'm not falling for the bait. You're not going to trigger me, and you're not going to use people as pawns. That's just not going to happen. You know how Instagram makes you make group chats? And I have a lot of group chats for different settings, especially if I know I'm sending memes to my friends. I just like to send it in one group chat and call it a day. One of these group chats is me, Mallet, and a mutual girl that we're both friends with that I genuinely like, and he knows that. From what I heard, he's been writing her, DMing her, she's been ignoring him continuously. So Saturday, I think he was trying to get under my skin or was trying to let me know that, okay, well, I'm seeing other people too, bitch. So he DMs her in our group chat. Again, he's blocked, but you can see the messages even when you're blocked. He DMs her in our messages. And again, I genuinely like this girl, and she's a genuine girl's girl because she replies in the group chat that she wants to stay out of it. And immediately, I literally just exit the group chat. I leave the group chat because I even forgot that this group chat existed because it's been months. It's been months. So me and the girl, we talk outside of the group chat. I end up writing the girl outside of the group chat, and I apologize to her. I'm like, I'm sorry he's trying to drag you into this. He does this to get a reaction out of me. And she tells me like he's been trying to DM her and all of that stuff. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. And I send her screenshots of what he's been doing with other girls and how he's trying to weaponize my relationship with other women to get me to react or get me to lash out. And this is the thing he doesn't understand about me. I will never ever go out of my way to attack another woman because of a disgusting man. I am not your mother. Mallet, my name is not Brenda. I do have all my edges. I will never ever attack another woman because you want to be playing. It's not going to work. And thankfully, I am actually surrounded by really amazing women who are not male-centered like your mother. So that will never work. Till this day, like, it makes me get so frustrated knowing that someone is doing that, like knowing someone intentionally try to use people as pawns, because he's already used my family like pawns, but trying to use my friends as pawns in a divorce, you're sick. You're so sick. But let's get back to the story. Now we're at Saturday afternoon around like 3 p.m. So I come out and I see that he's eating my food. And I'm not gonna lie, I got really annoyed because again, I'm in the zone and I just remembered that I was hungry. So I'm like, hey, why are you eating my food? This is my food. Please. I vividly remember getting so annoyed. I said, you big back man, give me my food. Stop eating my goddamn food. And he starts laughing in my face and he's not doing anything but looking at me while eating the food. So after he maneuvers out of the way with my food in his hand, I look around on what I can take. So I take his phone. And I know from past experiences, that's the only way I can get him to give in and give me what I want is by taking his phone. So when I take his phone, he immediately grabs my wrist right here. He immediately grabs my wrist like this and twists my wrist around. And my wrist around. And I sat and I'm like screaming at him to let go. He goes, put my phone down. So I put his phone down and I'm like, give me my food. And he's like, it's my food. It's my fridge. If you want to eat anything in this fridge, you're going to pay for it yourself. Who do you think was paying for my food? Use your brain. Anyway. So I don't say anything and I just stand there. I'm just like, give me my food. And he wouldn't give it to me. So I was like, you know what? Bet. And I go and I take his work phone because he has 3 phones. And I literally tell him, if you give me back my food, I will give you back your phone. And the way this man launched at me, like he was in WrestleMania or something, I got scared. I'm not going to lie. I screamed. I screamed and I threw the phone on the couch and ran to the room. It's not funny, like it really isn't funny, but I threw the phone on the couch and I ran to the room and this man bolts straight, I'm sorry, bolts straight at me. And my poor cats, like, thank you for coming, my poor cats are like meowing like crazy and he hates my cats now all of a sudden and he's like, out of my way. Oh my God. Again, this is not funny. It's actually very, very serious and it's very sad, but it's like, I think my cats can sense my anxiety right now, so I really needed them to just come near me. But like, when he yells at the cat to get out of his way, he comes to the room, like, my arm and like literally I felt like a rag doll. He like tosses me off of the bed. Sorry, Papa. Tosses me off of the bed and breaks my laptop. And I remember thinking to myself, first off, when did you get this strong? Like, you were never this strong. Like, when you started going to the gym, I could tell, like, you were going to the gym up, like, that's what you were doing. First, I was shocked, and then I was just like, wait, this is kind of low-key funny. And I don't know if I really feel like humor is how I deflect when I'm in pain or when I'm in shock or any kind of form. So I started laughing. I'm just like, damn, you were only going to the gym so you could up? Weak. And he starts getting mad. He said, give me my. And I'm looking at him like, is this man blind? Like, does the rage blind you so much that you didn't see like the phone was on the couch the entire time? And he starts like screaming at me and starts dragging me. And that's when I started getting scared. I'm just like, okay, this is not a joke. Like, this man, like, I looked into his eyes. It looked blank. Like, it looked like nothing was there, right? So I'm like, ooh, okay, I need to actually get up before, like, something happens. And I'm glad I did, because as I'm getting up, I'm trying to run, and he grabs my phone out of my hand. This is when I got actually scared, I'm not gonna lie. When he grabbed my phone out of my hand and he starts chasing after me. So we're back in the living room right here. You should see there's a lot of boxes and a lot of things like flipped over. So we're back in the living room now. And he pushes me on the couch and tries to take my laptop, because I'm just like, oh, like, you took my phone, now you're taking my laptop. So I was running back to the living room. I think he saw his phone and he was going to grab it, and I grabbed the phone. I'm like, give me back my phone and I will give you back your phone, and you got to fix my laptop. I kept screaming like, you're paying for my laptop, you're paying for my laptop. He was just like, I'm not paying for shit, I already paid for this goddamn house. And I was just like, okay, whatever, but give me back my laptop. Give me back my phone and pay for this laptop. So when he wasn't doing that, as you guys know, my best friend is my neighbor. I think I talk about this a lot, how I'm so grateful for having my best friend as my neighbor. And I forgot she was not in town yesterday or day before yesterday. So I got dressed, and not even got dressed, I put my shoes on and I take my laptop. I'm like, you know what? Keep my phone. I don't even care. I have your phone. You're not getting this phone back until I get my. I'm on my way to leave the apartment, and he chases after me and me down. And the moment I get down, that's when I start getting scared. And he goes, no, you're gonna come back in this house. You're gonna come back in this house and give me my phone again. So I immediately hit the phone, because you're not gonna do that. So he tries to put my head in the little robot. Like, he's pushing my head inside of the little robot. Like, I'm trying to like not have it happen. And I'm just like, you're okay. I get it, mister. Like, all of a sudden you're strong now and you're trying to use that on me. Like, I go to Pilates and I weight lift. You're not getting my head in that little robot. You want my hair to smell like litter? It was actually disgusting, right, Papa? I feel much better than my cats are near me right now. But I start getting pissed off, and I'm just like, you're not doing that. So I'm trying to get up and not have my head be put in a little robot with cat poop. And he's screaming and screaming, and I look up at his eyes again, nothing there, just blank and anger. And I was like, oh, this is what the girls were talking about when there was just like, there's nothing in his eyes but darkness or void or whatever. So immediately I'm fighting him off, and I run in the hallway. So I start running in the hallway, running towards my best friend's house, but I forgot that, she was not in town. So I'm banging on her door, and the neighbor, and it's so funny, me and this neighbor have never gotten along, but the neighbor, she comes out and oh, I forgot the main part. He took my key because I was going to my best friend's house, so I took my key, and I think I took his key as well. Either I took my key or in his key, but long story short, he runs after me and he's dragging me in the hallway, and I'm trying to get my phone from him. And the neighbor that I'd never got along with, she comes out and she sees me being dragged, and once he saw that someone else is seeing what's happening, he gets up, like he goes towards the stairs. I'm trying to stop him from leaving through the staircase, because he has my phone, and the man is about to have my laptop too. I'm like, I'm not gonna have that. So once he saw her door open, he like let go of me or something like that, and runs down the staircase. So he runs with my keys, he runs with my phone. So he has my phone and my keys, so I can't get back into our apartment, and he has my phone. I have nowhere to contact. So the neighbor calls the police. And when she goes, you need to call the police on him right now. Like, this is dangerous. Like, what's happening? Like, this is not, like, you're in danger, girl. Like, you're in danger. And I was just like, yeah, like, I need to call the police. So we're on the phone, and the police comes, And thank God we live in a precinct. We live in Harlem, okay? And I feel like I can say this right now because by the time you guys see this video, I will not be here anymore. I won't be here. So we live by a precinct. So the moment the police comes, they come fast, and I'm explaining to them. They were like, "Can we just track your phone?" So we track our phone. He goes to T-Mobile. T-Mobile, I'm going to sue you because I specifically said, do not allow this man. His name's on my account. Do not allow him to go to my account. And you guys did that. I got a notification that you guys let him make a change on my account. So I will be suing T-Mobile. Then they found him. I guess he like ran from T-Mobile to like Starbucks, and they found him at Starbucks because I gave him his description. Because I remember all the thing I was thinking was, remember what he's wearing, remember what he's wearing, and I remembered exactly what he was wearing, and I explained it, and I gave it to the cops, and they found him, and they arrested him, and I remember I went to the precinct and I was waiting, and I ran and they were like taking him to another room, and he made eye contact with me, and the way that man looked at me, I was just like, I need to make sure I am not here by the time he comes back. And thankfully I am getting a restraining order, and it's really hard to get a restraining order in New York. However, the cops did see the damage that was done to the apartment, the damage and bruises on my body, and thank God we have security cameras. So I wanted to add this last part. I will be cutting off my family because a lot of them have not only told me that I should try to not press charges on him, that I should leave him alone, that it would ruin his career. He has quite literally on my face, on my entire body, dragged me, and you guys are worried about his career. Right.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Please go down in the comment section and share your thought. Love to know what you think about this story down in the comment section. But as always, keep it respectful. You're on this channel, we're allowed to disagree, but we do it in a very respectful way. So go ahead, feel free, share your thought. Like for me personally, like not blaming her because we don't really know the entire situation of the marriage and all that. But ladies, when a marriage is or when a relationship, because it could be a relationship, when a relationship has gotten to the place where you have decided to leave, and this is something we've established here already on this channel, is that to go in like do it in a very silent way. You don't have to make noise. Don't if you have to cohabitate with him, he does not have to know that you are leaving until you already start living. I don't know what I'm saying, because we've seen a lot of women that have been unalive just because they no longer want the relationship, they no longer want the marriage, and things has gone left. And most of these men can handle it, they can take it, especially when you are moving on and you've made peace with the situation and you out there. The fact that this lady is still cohabitating with this man and then going out on a date, ladies, that is dangerous. That is so dangerous. I don't know how people are putting themselves into harm's way, because for me this is just harm's way. Because why are you under the same roof with a man that was your husband, and yet you're dating other people? And most likely it's going to know, because most likely he too is on the app probably swiping left and right, and is still going to know, like, what are not the odds? Because if you're on all this dating app, you know they usually match you with somebody that is close by, and he's close by next to you, so the chances of him seeing you on the app is like, don't put yourself in harm's way. Thank God this did not go far to get her any permanent damage, hurt, and all that. But ladies, stop putting yourself in a harm's way. Think things through a lot before you go ahead and do it, especially at the end of a relationship, especially at the end of a marriage. Because a lot of time, that person you think you love so much, oh, he can't hurt me, he can't do this, you think you know them. 98% at that point where both of you, this relationship, this marriage is ending, you don't know that person. And we've seen instances of where women, they thought they know their partner and all that, and these men eventually end up unaliving them because they choose to end the relationship, they choose to end the marriage. If those women knew those things were coming, they would have moved differently. So don't ever put yourself like, get yourself in order. If you know, I understand everybody situation is different, everybody finance is different, but get yourself in order before you vocalize or before you even make the move of leaving the marriage, leaving the relationship. Because a lot of the time these men will do everything to get under your skin, because they are not happy that you're about to be out there, they're not happy that you're about to be happy without them, so they will do everything to get to you. So Don't give them that space, that chances for it to happen. Like, please, ladies, for your safety, for your, think about the worst that could happen. A lot of time people usually say, I'm like, Destiny, you always think, yes, think about the worst that can happen. Because those women that their story is being shared of how they've been on their life, if they know, they will move differently. So think about the worst and ask yourself, if I'm going to be with this person, how am I going to do it? How am I going to navigate it? If I'm going to be on that, can I afford an accommodation now? If I cannot afford an accommodation, when will I be able to afford an accommodation? How will I move? But don't, no, be in the same roof with a man that is, you are going to antagonize, or he's going to, like, that is recipe for disaster, for anything to go wrong, for anything to happen to you. As much as we say, oh, we cannot defend ourselves as women. You see, women, let's even just get, like, whether you like it or not, the physical strength a man has over you as a woman is unmatched, ladies. It's unmatched. And you even said your best friend live in the same complex. You could have just even moved to your best friend's house. But always think about your safety. Always think about, what if this man goes cold on you? What is the worst that he can do to you? Please, ladies. I just feel like whatever happened, like our story was very, very, like, we would have prevented all this by not being in the same, under the same roof with him, dragging food with him, dragging his phone with him. Once an environment is becoming toxic, please, ladies, leave. Anyway, guys, go ahead and share your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversation. So go on and share this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push up my content for more people to see, and that'll be you supporting this channel and this girl here. So go on and do that. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Deuces.